Hello everyone, this is Peter from Perfect English, and today we are going to be reading a Ladybird reader at the level 1 level that is based on something written by a very famous author named Roald Dahl. Now, you might recognize the name Roald Dahl from another story that I read a while back called James and the Giant Peach. He also wrote some other very famous stories like The BFG and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So let's see what this story, The Twits, is all about. So, the title of our book is The Twits. T-W-I-T-S, Twits. So, here are the vocabulary words that we're going to be looking at here. We have Mr. Twit, which is not a vocabulary word, it is the name of a character. Mrs. Twit, walking stick. You use this kind of stick to help you walk. Old people or people with hurt legs will use this. Worm. The monkeys. Stretch. Up. Down. Cage. Hard to see there, but later on we'll talk more about this. Glue. Upside down. See the monkeys? The head on the ground and the legs in the air? That's called upside down. Key. Ceiling. Ceiling is above, the top part of your room. Shrink. Shrink means to get smaller and smaller. Nice people. Mrs. Twit puts worms in Mr. Twit's food. So they are mean. They are not nice. They're not even nice to each other because Mrs. Twit will do something mean to him. Mrs. Twit's walking stick is very long now, says Mr. Twit. I'm shrinking, says Mrs. Twit. Why does Mrs. Twit think she is shrinking? Remember, shrinking means getting smaller and smaller. Because he made her walking stick bigger and bigger. You can stretch, says Mr. Twit. Mrs. Twit goes up. Up on what? Do you know what these are called? Balloons. Balloons. B-A-L-L-O-O-N-S. Balloons. Then she comes down. She is angry. Angry means mad, not happy. This is the Twit's house. Mr. Twit puts glue on a tree. He catches birds with the glue. That's so mean. What's glue? Glue is a very sticky thing that you can put to make things stick together so they're hard to pull apart. The Twits eat the birds. The Twits have 4 monkeys in a cage. Look at that. So a cage has metal bars or lines running up the side to keep them inside the cage. Animals will go in a cage usually. Mr. Twit says to the monkeys, walk upside down. The monkeys are sad. One day, a beautiful bird comes to the monkey's cage. He says to the birds, there's glue on the tree. Now the birds sit on the cage. Mr. Twit cannot catch any birds. He is angry. So the monkeys help the birds. Mr. and Mrs. Twit go to the shops. The beautiful birds get the key. This is a key. What can you do with a key? You can open a door. Or, in this case, maybe a cage. The monkeys put glue on the Twits' chairs and tables. Then the birds put the chairs and tables on the ceiling. The Twits come back. 2 birds put glue on their heads. The Twits see the chairs and tables on the ceiling. We're upside down, says Mrs. Twit. Mr. Twit says, walk upside down. Mr. and Mrs. Twit have glue on their heads. They cannot walk. They shrink. That is the end of the Twits. Okay, and that is the book. It is a story about 2 mean people and the animals that they bully bully is a word that you could know. And those animals are fighting back. They want to stop the Twits. Okay? All right. There's the story. Remember to come back and check on it whenever you have any questions or want to review. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and maybe you'll enjoy it more when you get to read it in class in the future. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.